Hey guys, we're back with another video here in the series of student updates. Throughout this whole, pandemic and everybody having to stay at home, it kind of brought us this idea of doing these Zoom meetings and checking in with some of our past students out there and seeing their progress. Well, today we've got Mr. Justin Jex out of Colorado. He's the owner of the Dent Gent. Now, I met Justin back in 2016. He came through for, I think it was about only a week at that time. And he went back, didn't do as much practice as he thought. Then he decided a year later he needed to come back, and I think he stayed with us for right around a month or so. And then that's when things really took off, right?
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about, that once you came back for that second time around, that month, you went back home. I remember you reaching out to us and letting us know that you got, I think, like 3 accounts right away within a couple months of leaving. And then it just kind of, you went from there, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I got back from my month training that I did with you guys, I immediately hit the dealerships. Like that was the place I felt I was good enough to work at a dealership to start off with. And so I went back and I hit probably 3 or 4 dealerships. I hit there's about 8 in my city where I'm at, but I hit a bunch of dealerships and started doing some demos, fixing some little dents here and there, and then they started calling me, and that's where I started.
That's awesome. Now, when you came through, and you and I had joked about this, you almost, after the first time you came through, you almost like wasted a year. Just kind of didn't really do much with it, right?
Yeah, like I was working in a body shop when I came through the first time, and it was just I didn't have the time to put as much into it as I wanted to. And then a year later, I ended up losing my job, so got back into it and decided to come back and do some more training.
Now, after you came through with us, I remember it was probably almost a year, maybe another year or so later when we met up again, and you met Lee, I think, for the first time in Colorado, right?
Yep.
It was when we did that very first class in Denver in October of 18, I think it was. And that's when I met you, Justin, when you came up and spent a couple of days with me.
Yeah, I came up and wanted to learn a little more about glue pulling. I didn't have a whole lot of experience there, but that's I was told that you were the man for glue pulling, so I found you.
You did. And
don't add to it. Don't pump his head up anymore.
No. Hey, I do just have to throw something out there because James trained you originally, and I'll say this because I got to see the aftermath of what James did. No, but in a good way. I mean, you've been doing fabulous. I've seen your work, and as a matter of fact, I owe you an apology because, and I'm saying this on video, on record, on Zoom. Justin saved my ass earlier this year. I had an issue with a car that I repaired last year in Denver. Hey, we're all human. I missed a couple of spots. And Justin went down to Denver for me, took care of it, fixed it, came out perfect. I knew I could rely on him, knew I trusted him. And I owe him a favor, and I told him I was going to send him a couple of things, and I dropped the ball, and I haven't done it. So I got you covered, my friend. I'm going to ship you something tomorrow, okay?
Good.
Because I so greatly appreciate it because you did cover my butt. And that just goes to prove what kind of work you're doing. Because there was no question in my mind. I mean, I know a lot of guys in Denver, as does James, and there's no person that I trusted more to cover my name than you, and I greatly appreciated you doing that.
Thank you, appreciate that.
So, what's been going on since the? I mean, I know we stay in contact with you. I know you talk to James periodically, and you and I talk periodically and stuff. And I know you've been busy and busier than heck. But what else been going on? Tell us how this craziness of the world in PDR has been treating you.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, after I left training, I started small. Like I said, I started at the dealerships. I started doing small stuff and started picking up small retail accounts and getting in the body shops. And as my work got better, then I got more and more work there. But I did mobile work for about the first year and a half. And then last October, actually, I opened up my first brick and mortar shop. So I have a full shop now that I'm working out of, and it's been going fantastic. I love it.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Now, since then, also, we were just talking a little while ago before we started, you also added on vehicle wraps, right?
Yep, we do vinyl wraps. We do color change wraps. I have a 54-inch printer. I can do like commercial wraps. I can print and cut anything I want. And we added that on our business as well, mainly because first I wanted to wrap my own truck. And so that was my get in the door there. But yeah, we've turned it into a whole other business on top of PDR.
Nice.
Now, let's back up a bit. After the second time you left me, you came through training for that month or so, you left, you went back home. What was like one of the first things you did? Because you already had your tools and stuff. I know you added on some more things when you left the second time. But what did you do? A lot of guys, we had talked, to another student recently, and, he was telling us about a plan that he had put together beforehand. And there's a lot of guys out there that really don't have a plan and don't have any idea. And you were at the point where you had lost your job, so you had to make this work, right? Mm-hmm. So like, what did you do from getting back that second time and going forward and,
Yeah, it was kind of funny. There was a huge hailstorm in Denver that summer. And my brother was actually caught up in it, and he had his car was hail damaged, and he made a claim and everything, and he knew I was going to go to school, so he saved it. And then when I got home from school, I took probably on his car, I took 3.5 weeks to fix it. Like it was a great learning experience, but that was my first dip into hail work. And after I finished that car, that's when I just moved into all the small door ding stuff, and I started taking on hail jobs and things I could do. And I turned down some that were too big that I didn't feel like I could do yet. But I mean, I gave a shot to anything. But there was a lot of stuff repaired and repainted that I tried right at the beginning. But I mean, that's how you learn. You can't be afraid of it.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't ever try it, you're never going to learn to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And good for you. Like, you had that in your back pocket because you did do body and collision before, right?
Yep.
So you were able to kind of just push yourself maybe a little further than most guys would have at that point, that are kind of afraid of it and they don't know how to correct it just in case they did get into that jam. Because there's a lot of guys who get into PDR and don't have that background, and it's kind of like, I'm only going to go so far because if I crack the paint, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
Yeah. No, having a body shop background definitely helps. Like I do all my own R&I work right now. I don't have any. I'm working by myself. I don't have any employees. But in those situations, like you have more of a feel for the metal and how things work and how things are going to come out more so than if you didn't have that experience before. But it's.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, but it's definitely good. I'm in with probably 7 or 8 body shops throughout my area, and they all work. I take care of them, they take care of me. Like if I have an issue, I can take it to any one of my body shops and they'll help, they'll take care of me. They some of them even offer to let me fix it myself, and they'll paint it, and like it works out good.
It's funny, and I think James says the same thing that I say to a lot of my students that do come from a body shop background. I say, look, leave everything that you know about actual body repair at the door, because what we do is incredibly different, except for one thing, and that's your knowledge and your ability to understand and anticipate how metal's going to react to what you're trying to do with it. That is huge in learning PDR, and that's the real aspect of a true body man transitioning into PDR and how it'll help them. It really does.
Yeah, because there is a lot of differences. I mean, and there are some similarities, between body and collision and PDR. But in the beginning, though, you've got to just forget all of that stuff and just say, okay, let's separate the two, and then later they'll come back into play later on.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you take that mindset of, if I was in the body shop, I'd just do this and mud it and paint it. Well, that's not what you're here to learn. That's not the goal. Yep. And as long as you can get past that mindset, you're okay.
Yep. And I remember when I first got started, it was a lot of like working with James. There was a lot of, we'd work on a bigger den in class or something like that, and I'd just attack that thing with with a rod right at the beginning. I'd split the paint in the middle or something, a big old high spot in the middle, and I just expected it to come out, but you have to learn that kind of finesse end of it.
Be gentle.
I think that's the thing, and James and I have talked about this on so many occasions. That's the one aspect of PDR, or one of the aspects of PDR, that guys coming into it, they don't have the original thought process to realize that, is to how much of what we do is more finesse and mental and visual than it is brute force. It's only a little tiny percentage of true brute force when it comes to moving the metal. It's so much finesse and how you move it and how careful you are and where you're moving it to.
How has business been for you since, I know obviously things have kind of probably slowed down for you like they have everybody else across the world. And, but how has it been, since before that? How was everything going for you?
I mean, it was going good. Like I remember I was going to come out and do some more training last year. And then I texted you the picture of that one day. We had one big hailstorm here. And I mean, in one day I wrote like $140,000 in hail estimates. So I sent you that picture. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to make it out there for a while, and something like that. But it's been good. I've been busy with hail. I haven't had any hail jobs for a couple months now. They just kind of ended from last year, and I'm waiting for this year to start. But just even the retail side of things, there's more and more people hearing about me. There's more and more people figuring out where my shop is now, and more people just stopping in and seeing what's going on. And it's definitely increasing all the time, which is good. That's a good sign.
Justin, how are you advertising?
I do everything on Facebook. I've started a little bit in Instagram, but I'm doing pretty much 100% Facebook. I'm just keeping posts up there, and word of mouth is huge up here where we're at. I'm in more of a small town. It's more of that small town feel where you just know, I know somebody that did that or something like that. It's the big marketing things don't really work up here.
Well, I mean, obviously not just PDR guys are going to see this. Plug the shop, tell them where they're, where you're at and how to get in touch with you if anybody's looking for repair in your area.
Yeah, for sure. My shop is located. It's in a place called Cattle Creek. It's about 35 miles north of Aspen, Colorado, and it's the shop. The address is 062 County Road 113. It's in the Cattle Creek Center, and I have a website. My website is thedentgent.com, and you can request quotes, request everything on there. And my Facebook, if you just look up on Facebook, the Dent Gent, you'll find me.
Nice, very cool.
Hey, Justin, before we hang up here, what's one thing you go back right now and tell your Justin of 2016 or 2017 when he was first starting out with this? What would you give that Justin? What kind of advice would you give him? Start 10 years earlier.
No, I think.
Go ahead.
I mean, when I got started, I was probably a little bit more scared. I've never been a real people person, but just to put yourself out there and get stuff done. I mean, it's when you're first getting started, it's not going to be perfect work. You're not going to do, you'll mess stuff up. You'll have to pay to fix a few things that you mess up, and that's just part of the learning curve. It's, I would tell myself just to get out there more, put myself out there more, and I'd probably be doing more than I am now. But I feel like I'm doing all right.
Good.
Absolutely. Like I said before, you'll never know until you're never going to be able to fix certain things until you try to fix that dent. If you do nothing but fix nickel and quarter door dings your entire career, you'll never get that big smash job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, and you'll never know how to do it either unless you make an attempt at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to push yourself and ever learning. It's always changing.
Yep.
Awesome.
You don't know you can fly unless you jump, man.
That's true.
Well, Justin, hey, bro, we completely and utterly appreciate you being on here with us. And also, congratulations on how well everything's doing. And like I said, thank you so much for coming to my rescue earlier this year. And like I said, I know the work that you're doing. I've seen the work recently, and I'm super proud of you. I'm very happy for you, and wish you all the best of luck in the future. As you know, because like I said, you talk to us every once in a while. We stay in contact. You and James stay in contact. We're always here for you. Anything we can ever do, don't hesitate to reach out. Ever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And of course, the next time I'm up in Colorado, I'll call you and let you know I'm coming up.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
Justin.
Sorry, go ahead, bud.
Go ahead. I was going to say, Justin, yeah, well, it was great seeing you, man. Good luck in all that you're, in all that you're doing. Well, you don't need luck. You just got to just keep doing it. Right? No luck.
Yeah,
just do it. But again, sorry, Lee, go ahead.
That's all right. Keep pushing is the inevitable quote there.
Exactly.
Guys, but thank you very much. We hope you're enjoying these interviews. I know James and I, for one, are having a blast doing these and visiting with some of these guys that we haven't gotten a chance to talk to in a while, or especially being able to see face to face, as close to face as this can be. But it's really fun to do these. We've got several more coming up. We got another one that we're getting ready to do here in just a little while. With an old buddy of mine that I trained in Colorado about a year ago. Can't wait to see Mike. And so that's going to be great. So keep watching these interviews with us on YouTube. Hit us on the Dean King Instagram page, the official Dean King, our Facebook, the Dean King page on Facebook, thedeanking.com, 1-800-304
3464.
Thank you. I knew I was going to do it. I don't know why, but I always brain fart the phone number. Anyhow, guys, we appreciate it. Sorry for the flub. But
the
take
number
care.
will be on the bottom. We'll
the
put the number
will
on the bottom.
I don't even know why we say the number because it's always right there. Next time, we're just going to have it flash over my face. It'll be fine. But anyhow, y'all take care. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.